Krejcir has laid a charge of assault, grievous bodily harm and attempted murder against the police. His lawyers have released a statement in which they claim he was tortured and tasered after his arrest on Friday. They say he lost consciousness several times during the alleged assault in an isolated area. eNCA reporter Karn Maughan has been following that story for us. She joins us on the line. Good morning to you, Karn. What are the details surrounding these allegations of torture? What exactly are Krejcir's lawyers saying the police did to him?
Well, basically what they're saying is that the police took him from his home at about 6 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday. They say he was then driven to an area in the direction of Karn, taken to a side area field where he was repeatedly assaulted. They're claiming in this statement and in the charges that they've laid with the police that he repeatedly lost consciousness. They're also saying that he was tasered with a taser at least 50 times. Now, I mean, obviously these kind of claims are incredibly, damaging if indeed they are true. And the lawyers are actually going on record and saying that they have very, very solid evidence that he did suffer these very profound assaults, and that they actually, Mabali, have employed 2 independent doctors to fill out what are called J88 forms, in which, in the normal course of events, victims of rape or assault, their injuries are documented. And they say they have J88 forms for Krejcir showing how, where, and to what extent he suffered these injuries. However, it must be noted at this stage that, to our understanding, he is not in a medical facility. So certainly the charge of assault GBH, you would think that if it was a particularly serious assault, he would be in hospital right now, and that has definitely not happened.
Now, Karn, when were his lawyers given the details as to his location yesterday? Because at the time of that press briefing in the afternoon, they still didn't know.
Well, interestingly enough, Mabali, shortly after that briefing ended, his lawyers, Krejcir's lawyers, had in fact sent junior attorneys to that briefing. They then served the document, of course, that's a court order by agreement, on the National Police Commissioner. They spoke to General Munu, who of course is the head of detectives in South Africa, and they got those documents to them, and it was after that they got access to him almost immediately after. The lawyers themselves have not disclosed his location, so we don't know where he is at this point. But they say that while they are very upset about the alleged torture that occurred, they are also, they're also very unhappy about the way that they were access to him was withheld from them, because in the sort of principles of normal criminal justice, that kind of thing shouldn't happen.
Now, Karn, have we heard anything from Krejcir's family and how they feel about these allegations?
Well, we know his wife and son are in South America, and we know that we understand from his mother that they now have plans to come back. I don't know if that is actually going to happen, but I know his wife was incredibly worried about him. She's told me on several occasions that not only does he have physical issues with problems with his bladder, etc., but he also suffers from quite profound depression and is receiving, is on psychiatric medication. So I think she probably feels that this incident could further exacerbate what she's described to me as his mental issues. So I think there is a lot of anxiety from his family. We understand his mother, who is the 7th wealthiest woman in the Czech Republic, has already put forward money to try and track down the people responsible for bombing the Money Point business that her husband owned. But we also understand that in the light of this latest series of events, that she actually may be coming back to South Africa to see him and support him through the trial that is supposed to kick off on Monday.
Now, Karn, you've been following this story very closely. What do you make of these allegations in light of the fact that Krejcir's lawyers were forced to obtain a court order just to get that location from the police?
Mawali, I think you raise a really, really important point. The fact of the matter is this. If Krejcir's lawyers had been allowed access to him from the get-go, and this had been a routine and properly handled arrest, there would have been no opportunity for any of such allegations to emerge, because, his lawyers would have been with him. and he would have been able to be processed as in the normal course of events with any accused through the criminal justice system. There are profound problems with the fact that the lawyers were forced to go to court. These police have, on at least 2 separate occasions, charged Radovan Krejcir with other offences. They know that he has lawyers. They know that he is very au fait with the criminal justice system. So this is not a case where they weren't aware that he had lawyers. I mean, that certainly is not the case. So, what's happened now is the police have literally allowed a situation, whether true or not, these allegations are being allowed to fester, because the fact of the matter remains, Mabali, for 10 hours, no one knew where he was. Now, he's painted a very grim and unfortunate picture of what transpired in that 10-hour period, particularly the 2.5-hour period of the alleged torturing and assault. But the police have now put themselves in a position where those kind of allegations may gain more momentum because of the bizarre and very secretive way that they kept him away from his lawyers. So I think the police's handling of this has been completely misguided. I think that this is all going to come back to bite them in a very bad way. And given whether these allegations are true or not, which his lawyers very much claim they are, this kind of thing is going to, of course, have quite a significant impact on any future prospect they have of successfully prosecuting this man. The fact of the matter is they wanted to pursue kidnapping and attempted murder charges against him. He's pretty much now charging them with the very same thing. And given the fact that he twice now has walked away from criminal prosecutions because those cases have completely and utterly collapsed, the police, I think, should have exercised a great deal more caution in the way that they carried this out.
All right, thank you very much.
News that moves. eNCA.com.